Hi guys. I know I'm incredibly an absentee vlogger. I haven't gone for the 2 weeks. I'm sorry about that, but with a combination of the holiday seasons and attempting to accomplish 3 paintings, 10 scarves, and getting everything organized for Christmas and work and run off of Thanksgiving and sales, I'm sorry, but I have been incredibly exhausted and to be honest, I've just forgotten to do the videos, so I'm really sorry about that. But I am trying to get back into the rhythm and the rhyme and the reason of doing these because I do enjoy them, and I hope someone out there in the interwebs is enjoying them too. But it is Christmas time, and it is after Black Friday, and after Black Friday and Black Friday, do you know what you find? Movies are super cheap, and TV shows too. If you shop right, you can find really awesome TV shows for about $10. I know Grimm was out there, and that is actually one of my favorites. It's on NBC, and it's all about wart fairy tales with a swing of crime drama. But that's not what I really want to talk today. But if you catch it on TV, or if you can catch like reruns of the first season, because I think we're in season 4 now, definitely give that show a try. It's really, really good. But I actually want to talk to you kind of about one of the more, I don't know if you could call it lesser known, because the fan base is rabid. It is pretty big, and the show has never actually been nominated for, say, let's a Golden Globe or an Emmy. But if it is nominated for a People's Choice Award, it wins every time. Hands down, because the fans are so bananas. The show, Supernatural. Supernatural is about two brothers, Sam and Dean Winchester, who are hunters. Not hunters in the traditional sense. No, hunters where they hunt werewolves and vampires and ghouls and fairies and ghosts and poltergeists, etc., etc., etc. It's about their family unit and them and their dad and how suck their life can be. I personally love this show. I got really involved with the show when I found out kind of like the basis. I've always loved urban fantasy. I've always loved vampires and werewolves. When I was a freshman in high school, I wanted to be a vampire, and that was before vampires got really big. I was a senior in high school, for like 4 years later, when Twilight hit, and it went crazy in the media. Vampires, you know, True Blood became a show. Then they had Twilight, the books and the movies, and all this stuff going on. So we got Supernatural, which is actually kind of like the opposite of all this stuff. Instead of people wanting to sleep with the vampires, you had two dudes trying to kill all the vampires. And it was refreshing. It was different. It was fun. Jared Padalecki plays the younger brother Sam, and Jensen Ackles plays the older brother Dean. And their bro chemistry stuff they got going on is superb. It's awesome. I'm a hardcore fan of the first 5 seasons. The show's creator, Eric Kripke, left the show season 6, and the quality of the show started to decline over the seasons. We got a little bump in season 8, and season 9 wasn't the greatest. I have this deal. I watch this show because they're brothers. Through anything that happens to them, they're brothers first and foremost. That's why you love the show. It's why you love the characters. They're brothers who love each other through thick and thin. Season 9, that goes out the window, and it just makes me mad, upset. I watched the 200th episode in season 10, and that was great. There's a bunch of meta episodes, meaning where they kind of touch base on like the world, in our world, the real world stuff. Like they make kind of sly comments about fans and who would watch the show, and it's just good. Dean is like the older bad boy. He's got his nerd side too. He makes all kinds of pop culture references. He loves his classic rock. He loves his 1967 Chevy Impala his dad gave him, which is a beautiful car. Beautiful car. And then Sam Winchester is the traditional book nerd. He went to Stanford, and he had been accepted into law school before everything kind of hit the fan. And they're just, you have these two very different people who meet on a plane that you don't get to see a lot of the time, because oftentimes families are belittled and looked down on and not held in the accord and in the space that they deserve and respect. You know, the dad's stupid, and the mom is a long-suffering woman who just can't believe that she's stuck with this extra child as her spouse, and that just irritates me to no end. And so you have these two brothers who are trying to make do, and they're trying to be together. So literally heaven and hell is throwing everything in their way. It's a super awesome show. The cast is phenomenal. Jim Beaver played Bobby Singer, who kind of comes in as a adopted father for the two boys, and I love Jim Beaver. He's phenomenal. He's grumpy and he's growly, but he's got this really soft and fuzzy interior. You have Castiel, which is an angel of the Lord, and he is like a lost puppy sometimes, but when business gets down to it, he's a warrior first and foremost. He's played by Misha Collins, and Misha Collins is like the polar opposite of Castiel, which is what is so fun about them. You have Mark Shepard, who plays Crowley. He starts off as just a crossroads demon, and I think you're introduced to him in season 4. And he's a frontliner now, which is really awesome, because it's really funny. It's really funny. He becomes the king of hell, and he's one of your favorite characters. And like you feel like you shouldn't like the king of hell. You feel like you shouldn't like him. What you end up doing, I mean, you've got angels and you've got demons and vampires and werewolves and ghosts and poltergeists and wendigos and things that you've never heard of, but that you get really interested in because the show portrays them in such a cool way. The show is on the CW, which is really surprising because it's not a stereotypical CW show. It's a stereotypical CW show because it hasn't been canceled yet. But it's really not a stereotypical because the music is classic rock, it's original in the fact that it still has kind of like a really strong guitar bass line, or it's something not poppy, or something that you would find in mainstream music. I really love this show. Majority of girls, maybe not majority, but a lot of my friends that I know have started watching this show because the guys are really pretty. I started watching this show because they're killing freaking vampires and werewolves. I find that awesome because they make a bunch of Buffy references, and it's very much like the Buffy. You know, Buffy was almost like a counterculture, especially right now, because vampires are not beautiful guys. They're not pretty beings. They're shunned from God and shunned from the sun. I mean, they're not romanticized creatures, and they become that way in media, and that's why I think I appreciate Supernatural on a level, because they kept it where these are creatures who kill. These are creatures who are not good creatures, and there is an episode in season 6 where they address that, and it is hilarious. And they even make a bunch of Twilight references, but if you like that sort of thing, if you kind of like, it's like a buddy cop, but with a twist of course, supernatural, and it's done in a beautiful, beautiful way. The first several seasons are really good, and the problem is that you become so attached to the characters that you feel like you have an obligation to continue on with the story. And unfortunately, the story kind of lets you down. There are good highs and there are a lot of lows. So if you can stick through the story to look for the good episodes, you won't be disappointed. But there will be a lot of episodes that will disappoint you. Just so you guys know. Just so you're not like blindsided by anything like that. But definitely give it a shot if you like that sort of thing. They are easy on the eyes, which is always a bonus. The problem is once you start, you get pulled in. You get pulled in by these guys, and they're gonna woo you, and you're gonna love them, and you're gonna want to become obsessed with it. I have an entire Pinterest board just called Maybe a Wee Bit Obsessed, just about these people. I may not be watching the show anymore, but they still hold a strong hold on my heart. So definitely give it a shot. It's a good show. It does have a bunch of heart to it. You love the characters. So if you like the crime stuff, if you like the supernatural stuff, definitely give this show a shot. It always gets my 2 thumbs up. I always give it my 2 thumbs up, and I always recommend it to people. I always do. But I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I'm sorry I've been gone, but Christmas is winding down. We got a week and a half left. Can you believe it? Can you believe that? But Christmas is almost done. New Year's about to be here, so maybe I can end this thing off strong. But you guys have a great week. Whatever holiday you do or do not celebrate this season, just have a fun time. Enjoy the time with whatever family of your choosing. And I will see you guys next week.